March 13th, 2026. How's it going, guys? Well, I got another video for you. What are we going to talk about? Kansas City, Independence, Missouri. We're going to talk about crime. We're going to talk about drugs. We're going to talk about the homeless. So, what happened to I don't know if it's a he or a she up there, the street on East 47th Street yesterday. Well, the police finally come out because I called a second time. And I'm going to show everything that I have to back all this up. I talked to him for a bit, and even a neighbor across the street come over and told him that this lady was out in the street and it almost caused 3 wrecks. But guess what? Nothing got done here in Independence. Now, what they said, well, so we're short-staffed, so nothing's going to happen today. Well, you know that's going to happen because they don't want to do their job. That's where it comes down to anymore. This isn't about being short-staffed. They don't want to do it. And I'll tell you why I say this. When they came down the street, the car had pulled away. I don't know if anybody knows about this, but it was jumping up and down in the middle of the street, almost caused about 3 wrecks. Now, it looks like it's got women's hair, looks like it's, but the face looks like a guy, so I don't know what it is. Come up here from this God's house up the street where there's been lots of different incidents. I'm going to show that too. The police were just up there about a week and a half ago. Then there was a fire truck or AMR up there. We're going to show that. And I can date and time all this stuff from this location here. But that doesn't matter because we're in Kansas City, Independence, Missouri. You can get away with anything. So what the officer told me, he said, when we drove down, he said, well, we didn't see anybody that fit your description. Well, now, what I did over the phone, you could go back and listen when I called dispatch. I said, this person has like a gray-like shirt on. It says, call me. And it's got like a Halloween kind of like mask. And I couldn't think of what it was at the time, but it's like Scream, the mask Scream. I'm going to show that here. And then they said, well, when we come down the street, I said, wasn't that you guys come down the street? Because my cam caught them coming down the street. They said, well, it didn't fit our description. Well, it didn't fit their description. I also told the dispatch that this person looked like half like a gal, but it was probably a guy, had reddish hair, kind of brownish reddish hair. They can go back and look at that. They save all that stuff. I believe in evidence. I believe in recordings. I believe in all that. Definitely. So, I don't know. But we're going to show all this. We're going to show this again. And this person was going like this, and jumping up and down. And it took, when I called, it was over 40 minutes. It's about 50 minutes time I got out here. And after I called the second time, and I'm going to prove that. Because I can show you when I called on my phone. I can show you when I called again. And they said, well, this person, it said, jumping up and down the street ain't no crime. Really? Now, if you're out in the middle of the street, now, when they came down the street, it was on the side of the street. But that don't matter. It was causing a disruption. They should have went and checked on this person. And it went back in this God's house. Now, I'm going to read this real quick. Okay, I ask you if it's a crime if you're out in the middle of the street, stopping cars, disrupting traffic and stuff. Is it a crime? What it says, a person jumping in the middle of the street and disrupting traffic is committing several potential crimes, mostly common classified as disorderly conduct, obstruction of traffic or highway, or reckless endangerment. Here are the specific types of offenses the behavior likely constitutes. Disorderly conduct. This is the most likely charge covering acts that disturb the public peace, cause public inconvenience, or create a hazardous condition in a public place. Well, that was a hazardous condition because there was cars honking, going by, going around, and it was a nightmare. But that's okay. That's okay. Obstruction of traffic. Obstructing a highway specifically aimed at actions that impede, hinder, or delay the safe flow of vehicle traffic or public road. When I talked to the officer, and if they can want them to go back even on the dash cam of their vehicle, because I'm sure it was recording. Well, if it did get wiped, lady across the street here came over, and she basically said she almost got hit, or whatever. And like I told him, I said, this was like about 3 wrecks she almost caused, because 3 different times I kept hearing these horns honking. Now, I hadn't started recording that yet, but I got a lot recorded after that. But I'm sitting here, I'm looking at this on my cam, and I thought, oh my God, well, what's going on? And this person's jumping up and down, going all around. But that, like I told the officer, and I'm sure it was being recorded, I told him, I said, the endangerment to themselves or to the other people. Well, not going to happen today. Well, that's okay, because I'm in Missouri, man. Well, that's fine. But just remember, there's 6,000, about 200 viewers of my viewers all around the world's watching this. And this is Kansas City. Now, I post the crime here in Kansas City, and I post the Kansas City Zoo. About the only thing that's decent and good in Kansas City, the Kansas City Zoo, where you can go and have a good time, and it's halfway safe. Not all the way safe, but halfway safe. But, okay, let me get on with this. Reckless endangerment. If the behavior creates a substantial risk of serious physical injury or person or to driver, it is considered reckless endangerment. Pedestrian under influence. Well, see, that's what I wonder too, because this person's going like this and this. I mean, yeah, it could be mentally off, but it could be drugs like meth, fentanyl, something else, Because hey, I'm sure you guys on YouTube have seen the ones even are like the zombies and other stuff. It's crazy stuff. And the last one is interference with law enforcement officer. If the police arrive and the person refuses to leave the street or comply with orders to move. And it wasn't that, just like the lady had come across the street and just what I said. It was like, well, she could be in danger, just not to herself, but the people out in the street that's almost causing the wrecks. Bottom line, people are honking and beeping and everything else, and that doesn't warrant a check on anything. Well, that's independence. So let's take a look at this. Okay, guys, so this is the first thing I did. And you can see she was out here. She's looking around at the cars. And she was going up and down the street. This went on for about an hour. And she was out in the center of the street before I started my recording. And that's what that lady across the street it even said. But it didn't matter. I mean, they don't want to do nothing. So, okay, I'm going to do this. Now, this is what, let's see, I'm going to go back here. Okay, here's the gal coming out down by the God's house. Why don't you love those temp tags too on these vehicles and other stuff? Now, what does this look like? Now, I shot this with my 35 millimeter. I'm thinking, what in the world? When my son first saw this, it looks like Carrot Top. It looks like, here you go. What is that? I mean, what is that? And even when she or it or he or whatever it is was up and this other vehicle was talking to this person, it also, it was doing that. And you can see that. I'm going to show that real quick. But what do you guys think of that? Now, that's why people say, well, don't come to Independence. I just can't imagine. Yeah, well, that's crazy too. Oh, you want to know what that other picture is? That's a car up down here off 46th Place at those rental properties up on blocks. It's been sitting down there for, I don't know, a good month and a half. I mean, I understand people's cars break down. Everybody's car breaks down. You have to work on them. But month and a half? I don't know. You see those blocks there? But let's just get on with that. That's what keeps popping up here. But let's just go on from there. So we're looking at this. Oh my. Oh, and this one here. I mean, what makes a person take their hand like something's reaching up, pulling? Maybe it's demonic. What do you think, guys? Maybe they need the Catholics over there to get that demon out. And see, it said, call me. Now, that officer said what I described did not say what the description was. They go back in and listen to dispatch. I said the person had brownish, kind of like red hair, had a gray shirt, had a call me, and had some kind of Halloween mask like. on the shirt. Well, it said, you know what the officer said? It said that she had a skirt on. I didn't say she had a skirt on. Or he, or she, or whatever this thing is. I mean, that's crazy, guys. I mean, that's crazy. Now, hold on. All right, guys. So you see that yesterday. And I called the number, oh, well, isn't it something? 1211. 1211 lunchtime, a little after lunch here. And then I called them back at 108. So it actually took them 1 hour. 8, 9, 10, 11. That'd be what? 3 minutes less. It'll be what? 57 minutes. Come out here. 57 minutes. And it didn't look like they were in any big hurry or anything. I bet they're understaffed. Oh, they said by 10 police officers. Well, you know, I did a deal yesterday. I said, well, I knew that they'd say that they, you know, were understaffed. They always do. That's the only... Well, you know, if that's the excuse, if that's all, you know, about law, you know, we're understaffed, you know, we're just going to have to let everybody, all the criminals, everybody go, man. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I don't get it. But this person looks like it could be an endangerment to themselves and definitely if they're out in the middle center of the road. So hold on. Okay, guys, so she'd been out there in the middle of the road. I heard these honks and stuff. So then I started my cams, okay? And I want you to see this. She's out in the middle of the road. She's going to crawl back and get up, stand up, and then walk over to the side of the road here. And then she's going to start walking up and down. I want you guys to see this. Now watch. I want you guys to be able to see this and so I can get it focused good. Hold on, guys. All right. Trying to get it so everybody says focused. Hold on a second. Okay, now watch. She got back over to the side. And see, she's sticking her body out and stuff, throwing her body out and stuff. Well, that by the officers, that's nothing. I mean, man, I mean, that's not a disruption. And wouldn't it be warranted just to see if this person was high on something? Oh, that was another thing when they said, hopefully they were joking. They said, you know, drugs are legal now is what they told me. Well, I hope not. I said, I don't think fentanyl or meth's legal. What a joke, guys. Okay, now hold on. Okay, guys, I'm going to start this. Well, his hands in the air. Look at that. Look at that. See, now she's out in the middle of the street. Oh, cop said, well, we didn't say nothing. Well, I guess they have to see it. I guess they can't believe in the neighbors or people that pay taxes saying, hey, there's something wrong here. It needs to be checked. Well, I mean, this person definitely, I bet if I sent this to any other state, and I bet if, you know what I should do? I think there's a commission that goes over like the police, like photos, deals and stuff, do's and don'ts and stuff. And this would be kind of interesting to send to them, I think. Now, I only got about 30 minutes on my tablet here, so I can only show somebody. Oh, yeah, and they had a pit bull that wasn't on a leash, roaming around, too. Now, I called last week 2 different times to Independence Pound, or Animal Control, and they did come out. I seen one of their vans a couple days back. It only took them about 2 weeks. Well, here's that vehicle. Now, I got the license plate off this vehicle too. And guess what? The police weren't interested in that. Wonder how come? What do you think, guys? Now, this video part here is only 4 minutes 29 seconds long. Then I had to do another segment because I was running out of space. But this went on now. I had made the phone call to the police department. And like I say, the lot of bad stuff here. But it's like Independence and Kansas City, Missouri want to rake it underneath the, you know, coals and not let anybody see it. Look at that dog. Well, I don't see no leash, no collar, no rabies vaccination shots or anything else, man. Well, that's okay. Oh, man. Not good. But look at that. Now, I want you to watch the actions of this person. Like I say, don't know if it's a he, don't know if it's a she. But several times the person got back down on the ground. Now, who any of us, even if we were talking to someone, we don't slam our bodies, go back down on the ground and then get back up and go back down and go back down and up and down. I mean, that's crazy. Well, wouldn't you, so, you look at this like, well, okay, was this person high or was this person just trying to pick this person up, Way back here in Independence down on Independence Avenue, used to be a lot of prostitutes. There used to be oh God, what was that? I was trying to remember what that hospital was down there. And they used to hang down in that area. But they kind of cleaned all that stuff up. But now, any of this footage showing this, I mean, come on. I mean, what else do you have to have? Unless you just don't care. I mean, that's crazy. And I mean, I think that, like I say, the worst concern was to the public about causing a wreck out here, because they travel very fast up and down here anyway. They don't check the speed hardly at all here on 47th Street. So let me go on to the next one. Hold on. Okay, guys, let's start this. So now they're backing up traffic, but that's okay. You see, she got down halfway on her knees. She actually gets down, I don't know like if I caught it, but she got several times down on the ground. Now, what do you guys call this? To me, that looks like it's something drug-induced, but, I mean, it could be. I mean, it could be just somebody just mentally off, but, I think when people in the neighborhood here call and, I think we should be respected for when we call, and I think things should be investigated. I don't think things should be dropped. I drive from here all the way down to 23rd Street and all the way back a couple, 3 times a day. And I hardly ever see any police vehicles unless I'm sitting down 291 and 23rd Street, and they're usually in full mode going 90 mile an hour, either chasing somebody or going on some kind of call or something. Very, very fidgety, very all over the board, as you can see. I got about 10 minutes left on my tablet. Let's see, this is 21 minutes, so I won't be able to get all this in, but I want to, you guys see. Well, did it pull its shirt up? One of the shirts, yeah, one of the shirts. And you can see it still had the gray shirt on. Now, the cop said, basically, he said, oh, it didn't match my description. What is that? Isn't that gray? Doesn't it say call me on it? And doesn't that a Halloween mask? Red brownish hair? Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know I was working for the Independence Police Force here. But I mean, I don't know. I think I gave a pretty good description of the person. This is Kansas City. This is Independence, Missouri. Now that house, you see where that car's at? There's a house there just right. I call it the bong house because out of this house, there's people who get high and then they would crawl across the street on the other side of Chrysler and pass out. I can show several years here since the pandemic where the fire trucks, AMR was called, and I can back it up. But nothing's been done. And these people are running Texas tags. How do you come from Texas and run Texas tags in Missouri and live here indefinite? How's that possible? I hate seeing Texas tags here anymore. I used to work for some Texans, actually some Italians that was out of Galveston or down there by Padre Island down there. They owned an apartment complex out here in Independence. It was Tarantino Properties. And, I mean, they didn't even like coming up here. They just make money. They own the properties up here. It'd be like, oh, we hate the humidity up here. You wouldn't think the humidity would get them if you were coming from Texas, but I'm looking at this and I just, and like I say, I got the tag off this. But they didn't seem to care. But then another thing will come to mind. Remember I told you about a week or week and a half ago, there was police there? I want to show that too, so I'm going to have to hurry this up. I got 31 minutes left on this deal, which I've used 22, so I want to show that too, guys. I wanted you to see this, but this went on for over, like I say, this went on for 40 minutes total when you add it all up. And then I thought, well, maybe this was some kind of a counselor. Maybe somebody came out and tried to talk to this person, okay? I thought, well, maybe it was that. Now, I didn't have city tags on it. Let's see here if I can find it real quick. There it is right there. It's a Nissan Rogue. Had Missouri tags on it. But cops weren't interested in it. What does that look like if you were driving by? I mean, what does that look like? I mean, come on, guys. But you remember, this person was out in the middle of the road, jumping up and down, crawling around in the middle of the road, causing disruption, causing people almost to run into one another. But that don't matter here in Independence. That don't matter in Kansas City. I mean, look at this. This is just straight out evidence. Here's another car. I mean, people are having to go around this. This was a joke. This isn't a work crew. We got work crews over here too. We're putting gas lines in with Spire. I mean, come on. Well, see these cars backing up? And this person was jumping up and down the middle of the road and doing all this other stuff. But that don't warrant anything. All right, well, let's hold on. I'm going to see real quick. I'm going to do this just a little bit longer. And then I want to show you one other thing, because I want to show you that there was police down at this house before. So hold on. All right, guys. Now, you see those two police cruisers? Okay. It's at the God's house. It's at this house here. It's at the same. See a vehicle? And there's an officer up here. Up here. See that? Well, I mean, they don't care about, us people paying taxes, other stuff. But look at this. Look at this. I don't know what this other guy was doing. Oh, and maybe that was Larry. He's been out here forever. He's about the last one that's left out here. There's a couple of them. But everybody else, a lot of this is rental now. So, okay. So we determined that the police was out here beforehand. Oh, wow. Now, not just that. A few hours later, there's going to be something else that's going to happen. So hold on. Oh, and look at that. This is the pit bull that was roaming with this yesterday, too. You see that? All right, guys. I found the other one. This was later on. And, see if I can. Well, what does that look like? That looks like a fire truck. So, why do these people that are doing this stuff and the police are not doing their job to investigate, find out, report on this stuff? It's just like they just, they're just putting it in the can. That's all they're doing. But when you got evidence like this over and over and over again, that's a whole nother story. And let everybody see here in the world how Kansas City handles this. Oh, that's right. We're going to have that good old soccer deal here. Oh, not looking forward to that at all. I wonder how much more crime and more gunk will be here. Some people say, oh, well, they're probably, it's they're rich, so that it won't be too bad. I wonder what the crime when they have that races out there in Las Vegas go up. But the security out in Las Vegas, I'm going to stop this because I'm about ready to run out of time on stuff anyway. The stuff that out in Las Vegas, the crime does go up, even with all the security they have. Now, I know we're supposed to have Homeland Security and we're supposed to have FBI more. And, we getting this stuff done. I mean, look at this trash sitting out here, man. Oh my God. Not good. Hold on. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know. And see, that's what they were doing. That's what this person was doing out in the middle of the street. That's crazy. That is crazy. Person definitely needs help. I mean, whether whether they're on something and they need to get off of it, or like I say, if they do have mental problems, there are certain medications they can give them to kind of keep them calmed down. But they shouldn't be out in the middle of the street, and they sure shouldn't be trying to obstruct cars going up and down and cause wrecks. And the police, they should be actually doing their job and following up on some of this stuff. All right, guys, I want to show where this person ends up at, just to make definitely to show exactly where this person was coming from. And there's a good reason, because, I mean, like I say, that's crazy. But anybody could get out and do that stuff and just get out in the middle of the street and disrupt traffic and everything else. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. But I think it should be something that should be investigated. I think independents should be investigated too, because I think if they can't follow through on calls and stuff, it's a joke. Oh, they're too worried about the soccer deal. I mean, that just does not look the behavior. They might have looked at that. They'd say that the person was probably on something. Not. They got some very, very bad mental problems. All right, guys. We'll wrap her up for right now. Keep your eyes open. This is Independence, Missouri. This is Kansas City. And stay safe out there.